statue is still there. It has been taken over by the weirdest mashup skin of all time, Meow Dis.
Mode is the best to play to rank up fast. So let's start off talking about that. Now, Fortnite Reload is only available in duos and squads modes at this current moment, so I wanted to answer the simple question of which one is better to help you rank up fast. Well, it simply depends on which one of the modes you are actually going to perform better in on average. For example, you may have one really good friend that wants to grind with you, and in this case it may mean that duos is the best mode. If you can consistently place well with each other, get good elims and get high placement, then that's a great mix. However, if you feel you have a better chance in squads due to having multiple people that are on your skill to play with, for example, then this is definitely the better game mode for you if you can consistently drop high elimination, massive placement games. Overall, it just depends on which game mode you're actually going to gel better with and which one you're going to consistently perform and get better results. So now I'm going to be talking you guys through every stage of the game and which tips and what you should do at every stage. Starting off with stage 1, we're going to cover the early game. Now, there are two different ways you can play the early game in my opinion, these being aggressive or defensive. Now let's start off by talking about the aggressive playstyle. Now, the majority of the map will land tilted towers.
You've got a pretty good glimpse at this season's Battle Pass. Snoop Dogg isn't actually included as he's headlining the Music Pass instead, and his main outfit is in the item shop. The actual Remix Pass is entirely full of Chapter 2 skins, no crossovers at all. Of course, there's Meowtis and Dynamo Tiantina, but that's not all. There's a new version of Chaos Agent known as Chaos Director. She's the tier 1 skin that everyone gets when they unlock the pass. Then 1 ball and 10 ball are here in what might be the strangest way they could have remixed this dude, but they're nothing compared to one of the coolest mashups, Undercover Sky. She has been mixed with Guff to create a pretty cool outfit. So while you're repping these new skins, look out for some classic items around the map because yes, the Burst AR is back. Definitely will be some mixed reception on this one, but fans are more excited to hear that the suppressed version is back too. Not to mention, the tac shotty is available. Sure, it is going to be hard to pick this up over something like a purple pump, but in the right situation, these have always been amazing guns. If that isn't bringing the nostalgia back, these classic POIs definitely will, like this. It's gonna take some time getting used to. Some people love this and others think it's ridiculous. On the bright side, he drops the classic PRPL rifle from the original season and a keycard for you to loot up. The vault is totally worth it, and he'll even join you as a hired NPC once you beat him. What about the henchmen all over the map? Some of them are updated versions of the Ghost and Shadow guards from 2020, but the best part is when you take them out, they'll offer you an option we have all been missing. Shakedowns are back, and it doesn't just work on NPCs. Any player you eliminate can now be interrogated for info, revealing the location of their teammates. Pretty sweet, but one of my favorite parts about this map coming back has to be the return of Steamy Stacks. It is exactly how we remembered it, and yes, the Simpsons donut is still here. They've added a new zip line up to the chimneys, so it's easier to get up there and rotate, just making this POI easier to land at and then escape. Right next to it, we also have Slurpy Swamp, which always used to be the most helpful POI in the map. We could still use this to heal up by simply standing in the water. So far, you've got a pretty good glimpse at this season's Battle Pass. Snoop Dogg isn't actually included as he's headlining the Music Pass instead, and his main outfit is in the item shop. The actual Remix Pass is entirely full of Chapter 2 skins, no crossovers at all. Of course, there's Meowtis and Dynamo Tiantina, but that's not all. There's a new version of Chaos Agent known as Chaos Director. She's the tier 1 skin that everyone gets when they unlock the pass. Then 1 ball and 10 ball are here in what might be the strangest way they could have remixed this dude, but they're nothing compared to one of the coolest mashups, Undercover Sky. She has been mixed with Guff to create a pretty cool outfit. So while you're repping these new skins, look out for some classic items around the map because yes, the Burst AR is back. Definitely will be some mixed reception on this one, but fans are more excited to hear that the suppressed version is back too. Not to mention, the tac shotty is available.
This is what always happens, so this is an easy place to go and gain lots of eliminations off spawn. Now we know that eliminations are crucial in Reload when trying to rank up as fast as possible, so if you're a good fighting team, I'd 100% recommend landing tilted, defo W key it, and try and get around 10 kills in the early game. Now, if you are a bit more of a defensive player, then I would recommend landing somewhere much more low key, whether this be on the edge of the map at an area such as Lonely Logs or the docks, for example, in order to get a relatively uncontested drop. The majority of people will go to tilted, so sticking by the edge of the map whilst getting your loot will allow you to easily rack up some early placement going into that game and not die off spawn. So moving on, let's cover stage 2, which is the mid game. Now in my opinion, this is arguably the most important section in Reload, as it's all about how well you can prepare yourself with the best loot, materials, etc. by the time that respawn timer stops. So again, there is two different ways you can play this. So let's start off again by covering the aggressive playstyle. Now if you're aggressive, I think you can continue to look through kills in the mid game to try and ensure that you get that game winning loot in order to get the victory royale. However, it is important that you disengage away from the earlier scrappy fights or your drop spot like tilted for
Sure, it is gonna be hard to pick this up over something like a purple pump, but in the right situation, these have always been amazing guns. If that isn't bringing the nostalgia back, these classic POIs definitely will. Like I said, almost the entire map is how we left it, which means you can visit craggy cliffs, misty meadows, and holly hedges. A lot of people used to pick these as their drop spot, and I cannot wait to check them out again. When you land here, you might notice that an iconic feature is back: upgrade benches. It's been a long time since one of these was on the map, and if you remember the last time they were here, they took gold. That was in Chapter 2 Season 8 when they were first added. You get upgrade items with materials, and that's the version that is finally back in Fortnite. They're even more useful if you could upgrade rocket launchers. The OG RPGs are here and are pretty hard to find. There's a chance you could get them in chests or vending machines, I'll get to that part later, but keeping with RPGs, they are just as powerful as you remember. So yeah, if you're playing a zero build, get ready, they will be toxic. At least you'll be able to defend yourself with the bandage bazookas. Wouldn't be Chapter 2 without these guys, and if you need to fully heal in one go, the Chug Jug got you covered. It has been a while since this was in the game, and now they have fully updated it to fit with other healing items, like the return of the semi-auto sniper, even the scoped AR. If you're in zero build, you can hide from their sights by throwing down a porta-fort. These have been extended into regular build mode just for nostalgia. And if you're up against one of these, don't worry, because you'll easily be able to retake the high ground thanks to the return of the grappler. It is back in the loot pool, and you can find it from floor loot or chests, but most commonly in places like vaults. Unlike its original version in Chapter 2, it now grants fall damage immunity, meaning you don't have to worry about heights. It's also been buffed back up to 20 charges once again, so you can really... The impulse grenades are also back, but not the shockwaves, so watch out for fall damage. There's even regular grenades too, but for some reason, Epic kept the nerf from Chapter 4, making these only do 40 damage instead of 100. They're almost as pointless as dropping at the grotto right now, because you'll only be met with a pile of rocks. Every entrance is blocked off until Eminem makes his debut in week 2 with his mom's spaghetti restaurant and the minigun. Until then, you'll be able to play BR or even Reload, and it's gonna be easier thanks to the newest revamp to the discovery menu. The UI has been completely overhauled, removing names and ratings until you hover over the tile. The best part, the Buy Epic row is now easy to find, and different game modes are even sorted into simple collection.
What's my name? Yeah.